Hey everyone, welcome to today's session. It's Thursday, which means we're going to be doing a little bit more kind of high intensity today. We will start off with a little bit of a stretch, just be like 5-10 minutes of stretching. We have then got a little activation circuit, and then we've got 3 rounds of a slightly longer functional movement and HIIT exercises thrown into that circuit that we'll do after the activation stuff. Okay, so we'll start off with the usual then, so we'll come into our pigeon stretch. So just take it down to the floor, 30 seconds in this stretch. So just up nice and tall. And then we're just going to swap the legs over, so 30 seconds on the other side now. There's nice deep breaths in, really stretch it out in towards the hip. Another 10 seconds and we're going to switch back, become a little bit lower into that stretch now. So let's switch it back. This time down onto your forearms. So 30 seconds at the bottom of the stretch now. Really good stuff. We've got another 10 seconds and we're going to switch the sides. Good job. Switch it over them. And then just drop down onto those forearms again. So we've got 30 seconds here. Perfect. From there, we're going to step that foot back into our high plank position. And we're going to come up into a downward dog. And we're going to start off just coming right up onto your tiptoes. Okay, so really lengthening through your back and through your arms. So raising those hips up. So 15 seconds here. And then from there, just push your heels right down to the floor now. Just really straighten out those legs to get a stretch through your calves and through your hamstrings. Nice job. From there, keeping those heels down if you can. We're just going to walk your hands up towards your feet. Try and keep those legs nice and straight. And when we get near your toes, just want to slightly lift your chest off so you've got a nice flat back. And then we're just going to reach up and over. Okay. We're then going to come down, keeping a nice flat back until you can't keep a flat back anymore. And then you're just going to roll out and walk your hands back out into that high plank position. Back up into your downward dog, right up onto your toes. We'll hold for another 15 seconds. So really lengthening through your spine. And then from there, we'll push the heels down to get that nice stretch through the calves and through the back of the leg. And then we'll walk your hands back up towards your feet. Try and keep your hands on the floor if you can. Once you're at your feet, just lift those hands off, just slightly raise the chest into a nice flat back. Pause there, and then we'll reach up and over again. And then we'll come down, nice flat back, and then roll it out. Walk your hands back up into your high plank. Okay, from here, we're going to step your left foot up to your left hand and drop your right knee down to the floor. You can untuck your toe if you wish. We're just going to gently push the right hip down just to deepen that stretch through your hip flexor. So we're going to hold that there for 15 seconds and then we're just going to add some arm movements in. So now just with that left arm, we're just going to start adding in some circles. So 5 circles with your left arm. Once you've done 5, switch it over. 5 with your right arm. And then once you've done that, pop that right hand back down onto the floor, untuck your toe, step your left foot back up into that high plank, and then we'll repeat with your right foot up to your right hand. Then we're just going to drop your left hip down now, so just gently push through that left hip So get a nice stretch through your hip flexor. Once you've held for 15 seconds, we're going to add those rotations in with your right arm. So 5 circles, and then once you've done 5 round with your left. Really good stuff. Then we're going to step that right foot back up, and we're going to come back over to the left side. But first of all, we're going to come up into your downward dog. We're going to lift the left foot up, and then we're just going to take it over to open up through the hips. We're going to hold for 15 seconds. Really come up onto your tiptoes of your right foot. And then from there, we're going to bring that left foot up outside your left hand. This time, rather than dropping your knee down, we're going to just straighten that back leg and hold that for 15 seconds. So really push your heel back. You should still get a nice stretch through your hip flexor there. From there, then step that left foot back up to your right. We're going to come back up into your downward dog. Take your right foot up this time and rotate it over. Hold for 15 seconds. Come right up onto your tiptoe of your left foot. And then from there, we're going to bring that right foot round and outside your right hand. Okay, remember, we're not dropping the knee down, we're going to straighten the knee. And we're going to hold that for 15 seconds. Keeping that leg nice and straight now. Right, step the right foot back. We're going to come down onto your knees now. And we're just going to do a little bit more through the upper body. So with your left hand on the back of your head. And we're just going to rotate 5 reps on your left side. And then back to neutral, 5 reps on your right side. Once you've done 5, hands back on the floor, and we're just going to gently drop our hips side to side. Just starting to stretch out through those lower backs. We're going to do about 10 of these, so 5 each side. Really good stuff. Back to neutral. We're then going to come back up into our downward dog. Don't worry about coming too much onto your toes. Find it like a nice neutral position. Hold for a couple of breaths. And then we'll come round into our cobra. Hold for a couple of breaths at the bottom. We're going to do that 3 times. So back up. Back down. Once more. Back up. And then back down. And then from there, we'll just come back up. And then you can just walk your hand back up to a standing position. Take a couple of breaths, grab some water. And then we're going to go into our first activation circuit, okay? So we have got 3 exercises. Well, yeah, 3 exercises. The first one we're going to change halfway through. So we're going to go for 30 seconds on each of the exercise, and we're going to go for 3 rounds. So the first one, for the first 15 seconds, we're going to have our feet shoulder width, and we're going to come up and down in our glute bridges. At halfway, we're just going to bring the feet together, and we're going to come up more into our frog bridge. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, then we're going to do an alternating dead bug. So on your knees at 90 degrees, keep your belly button sucked in towards the floor, hands up in front of your chest, and you're going to drop your left foot down to the floor on your right arm, and then bring those back up, and then switch sides, okay? So my knees and my hips are staying at 90 degrees on the leg that's not moving. The moving leg is just straightening out. The third one then, we're going to come into a bent over position here. Hands by your sides, they're going to be in this position. Keeping your head tucked in and a nice flat back. All I want you to do is try and push your hands up towards the ceiling as far as you can. Okay, so there are 3 exercises. Like I said, we'll go 30 seconds on each for 3 rounds. We're going to start with those glute bridges, and we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So remember, at halfway, we're going to change into our frog bridge. So 1 more rep and we'll change. So bring those feet together. 15 seconds then of frog bridges. 3, 2, and 1. We're then going to go into our dead bugs. So 3, 2, 1. So we're going to alternate the sides. We have 10 more seconds here. So really keep those belly buttons tucked right into the floor. Last couple of reps. 3, 2, and 1. Up to standing. We've got those bent over Cubans. So 3, 2, and 1. So nice flat back, engaging the core. We're going to straighten out. Really squeeze those shoulders back and down. So it's really important to get that nice squeeze back and down. To really activate around the back of your shoulder. Get those muscles that tend to switch off. Get those fired up. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're going back to glute bridges. So round 2 in 3, 2, and 1. Just make sure you're keeping your heels pushed down on the floor on these. So we're not coming onto our toes. We're keeping a nice flat foot. That's halfway, so we're now going to come into those frog bridges. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the box. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So keeping those lower backs pushed right down into the floor. Tummy nice and tight. Okay, keep those legs nice and still and the arm nice and still that's not working at 90 degrees. 5 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Back into those bent over Cubans then, so we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Nice flat backs, pushing those hands up towards the ceiling, squeezing your elbows down. Really nice work. Halfway. Just keep your chin tucked in a little bit as well, so you want a nice neutral spine, and that includes our neck, so we're not looking up too much, but we're also not looking down too much. Keeping that neck neutral as well. 3, 2, 1. Once more through then. So back onto our bridges. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Remember, at halfway we are switching. So switch into those frog bridges now. So it just shifts the emphasis a little bit on this one. Just works the glutes a little bit differently. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're then going into our dead bugs. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So a nice controlled movement on this one. Keep your core nice and tight. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Last 30 seconds then of our bent over Cubans. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. Nice flat back then, driving those hands up. And really squeezing shoulders back and down. Halfway. Really good work. Last couple of reps. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Grab a quick drink in there. Cool. So we have, like I said at the start, a circuit we're going to go through today. So we have 9 exercises. It's going to basically kind of go lower body, abs, upper body, okay? So just repeating that kind of round, but with different exercises. So it's quite varied, so we can work nice and hard on each of the exercises, because we know on the next round we're going to change onto a slightly different body parts. Round 1, we're going to do a minute on each. Round 2, 45 seconds. Round 3, we're going to go for 30 seconds, and then we're going to add some cardio in between the rounds on that last round as well. Okay, so I will go through the exercises as we go through. But our first exercise is going to be a squat combo, okay? So we're going to start with our feet quite narrow to start off with. Come into a squat, out to shoulder width, and then out nice and wide into a sumo, and then we'll repeat that on the other side for 1 minute. So we will go then in 3, 2, and 1. So that's squat combo to start off with. So narrow, shoulder width, round into that sumo squat, back to narrow, and then we just swap the leg that we're stepping out with. So 1 minute here. And that is halfway. Really good work, guys. Keep it going. So narrow, shoulder width, nice and wide. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Good stuff. Next one, we're going to do get-ups. So we're going to come down into a sit-up, hand on the floor, up to standing, okay? If you can't stand up, you're just going to do sit-ups for me. So 3, 2, and 1. This is a sit-up. If you can, stand up. Back down to the floor. If you just want to do sit-ups, that is also fine. If you are standing, just switch the hand that you're using to help you get up off the floor. Halfway. Good work, guys. 15 more seconds here. Last 5. So 3, 2, and 1. Next one, press up walkouts. So always try and keep your legs nice and straight if you can. We're going to walk out and then come into a press up. If you can't keep your legs straight, you're just going to bend them here and stand up in between. So 1 minute in 3, 2, and 1. So walk your hands out. Press up at the bottom, try and get those legs nice and straight. Back up to standing. halfway. Doing really, really well here, keep it going. 15 more seconds. Last 3, 2, and 1. Next one, we're going to do a good morning into a squat. We're going to try and get those legs nice and straight. We're going to bend over, so like we're almost doing in those Cubans. So I've got a nice flat back, I'm not rounding, keeping my chest up. From here, we're just going to bend down into a squat. So we're here, into a squat, okay? So 3, 2, 1, let's go. Over, squat. 1 minute. So really important to push those hips back. Feel that loading through the back of your legs. Transition into that squat. So we're going from the back of your legs, and we're bending over to work in the front of our legs when we squat. Halfway. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Next one then, we're going to start off first half of the exercise in a high plank. We're then going to come down into a low plank. So 1 minute in 3, 2, and 1. So everybody up into the high plank. Squeeze your shoulders back and down. Tummy's nice and tight. So we've got 30 seconds here. Then we're going to drop. Ten seconds until we change. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. 30 seconds in our low plank. After this, we're going back onto arms. So keep those tummies nice and tight. 10 more seconds to go. Right, 3, 2, and 1. Next one, we're going to kind of almost come back up into that high plank position with our knees bent. We're going to come out, so stick your bum up into the air. Come round into a press up. If you need to drop to your knees here, come down, up, back up, into that stretch. When we get to halfway, we're going to be here, and we're literally just going to tap our shoulders. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So stretching those arms out, round into high plank, into press up. Okay. So we do 30 seconds here. Then we're going to hold that bear pull position, and we're going to tap our shoulders. 5 seconds until we change. So 3, 2, 1. Hands directly under your shoulders, nice flat back. Tap in, tap. So we should feel this a little bit in our legs as well. Try and keep your bum down. My bum was just slipping up a little bit there. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. We're then going to pick a leg. It's not going to move. We're going to come into a forward lunge, into a reverse lunge. Halfway, we're going to switch the legs over. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. So forward lunge. If you need to come back, you can. Reverse lunge. So it's just one leg, working there. And at halfway, we're going to switch it over. Five seconds until we change. 3, 2, and 1. Switch. Nearly there, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Onto your back. Got leg raises. First 30 seconds of leg raises. If you struggle with leg raises, split legs. When we get to halfway, maybe we're going to go into windmills. So slight twist, or with your knees bent, dropping side to side, okay? You pick, but we're going in 3, 2, and 1. Leg raises then to start off with. So I find these a little bit easier with my hands under my bum, because it means I can really push my lower back down, working my abs a little bit harder. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch either into windmills or dropping our knees side to side. So we're either there or we're here and over. Okay, find what works for you. They're both challenging, just in slightly different ways. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Then the last one, we're going to do a sit-up again. One hand on the floor, up into a bridge. On each side, back down to the floor, up, back into your bridge. 1 minute, this is exercise number 9 in 3, 2, and 1. We've got that sit-up, into a bridge. So left side, right side. Halfway. Really drive those hips up. Follow those fingers back into that bridge movement. Nearly there, guys. Got time for one more. Last 5 seconds. So 3, 2, and 1. Right, that is our circuit. Wasn't too bad. Grab a drink. Cool, so 1 minute break. We're then going to repeat that through. Exactly the same again, but the time is coming down to 45 seconds, okay? Nothing else is changing other than the time. So 30 more seconds. We've got the squat combo, then the get-ups, then the press-up walkouts, okay? So they're our first 3 exercises. So we're going to go in 20 seconds. I'm going to move that around so I can see a bit better. Cool, let's get ready to do it then. So squat combo in 3, 2, and 1. So narrow, shoulder width, into sumo, back to narrow, swap sides. 45 seconds, so if you want to speed it up a little bit now, you can. 15 more seconds here. Nearly there, guys. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. We've got get ups next. So 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Up to standing. 45 seconds of these get ups. After this, we've got press up walkouts. Halfway. Remember just to switch those arms if you are using your arms to get up. If not, we're just doing sit-ups. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Walkouts then. In 3, 2, 1. Walk those hands out. At the bottom, press up. Try and keep those legs nice and straight if you can. If you can't, remember you can bend those knees. Halfway. Keep it going, guys. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Really good stuff. We've got those good morning squats next. So 3, 2, and 1. So we're here, bending over, nice flat back, round into our squat. Feet shoulder width. So we're transitioning from a hinge, loading our hamstrings down into a squat. Keep it going, halfway. After this, we've got our high plank and low plank. Five more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Into that high plank position then. So we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So stand up nice and tall, squeeze those shoulders back and down. Hands directly under your shoulders. If they're not, just come up onto your tiptoes a little bit more. We are going to change it halfway. So in about 10 seconds time, we're going to come down into a low plank, so onto your forearms. So 3, 2, 1, drop it down. 20 seconds here. 10 to go. Right, 3, 2, and 1. We've then got those bear pull press ups, which we're going to switch halfway to shoulder taps. In 3, 2, and 1. So stretch it out, round, press up. Remember, you can drop to your knees on that press up if you need to, but just make sure you're getting that nice stretch in. It's just going to work for your back a little bit more. Now, our press ups work our chest quite a lot, so we just want to get a little bit of that back activation in when we can. So 3, 2, 1. Nice flat backs, tap those shoulders. I want you to imagine you've got a glass of water on your lower back and you don't want it to tip off. So get those abs tight. Keep the knees bent. 3, 2, 1. We're going into lunges next. So pick a leg. 3, 2, 1. We're going to come forward, straight back into that reverse lunge. You can reset in the center if you need to. And we'll switch When we get to halfway. So 3, 2, 1, switch the legs. Nearly there. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Onto your backs. Leg raises. 3, 2, and 1. And we're going to switch it halfway. Remember, you can do the split leg raises. Really good work, guys. Change it up in 3, 2, and 1. So either windmills or just dropping those knees side to side. This is just going to work your obliques a little bit more. So those muscles down the side of your six pack. So 3, 2, and 1. Then we've got the sit-ups into the bridge. Last one of the round, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So sit up, hand on the floor, reach up and over, swap onto the other side. Really good work, guys. 10 more seconds to go. 3, 2, and 1. Really good round. We're going to take a minute breather again there. Ooh. Wipe the sweat away. Grab a drink. The last round, like I said when I was explaining, we are going to add a little bit more cardio into this round. So now between every exercise, we're going to come into a high plank, and we're literally going to jump our feet up, and we're going to come up to standing. So in and stand, okay? So that's going to be between, which means we've got about 10 minutes of work left, and then we're done. We'll have to stretch after that. Right, 10 seconds, I'm going to start back with squat combo. So we'll go in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's do it. So narrow, shoulder width, nice and wide. We're just going for 30 seconds now, I forgot to say that. 30 seconds, then we're going into 30 seconds of those pop-up squats. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. So straight in, guys. Out, in, and stand. Halfway. After this, we're on to get-ups. 3, 2, 1. Right, let's get ready to go then. 3, 2, 1. So we're going to come down, do a sit-up, up to standing. And then once we've done 30 seconds, straight back up into those pop-up squats. 10 seconds to go. I'm going to go straight in. 3, 2, 1. Out, in, stand. Halfway. after this, press up walkouts. 3, 2, 1. Let's get ready to go then. 3, 2, 1. Walk it out. Probably only going to get about 3 of these in. Press up. Walk your hands back up. Same as the last round. Once you've done 30 seconds, straight in. Pop up froggers. Got time for one more. 3, 2, 1. Straight in then. Good work, guys. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Into those good morning squats. We're going 3, 2, and 1. Straight legs into a squat. Keep it going, guys. 10 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Straight in. Jump those feet out. Jump them in. A little trick. When you jump in, take those feet a bit wider. Okay, if you're struggling with your mobility, it's a little trick to help you get those feet up a little bit higher. If you need to as well, you can just step it out, step it in, and stand. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Into high plank. So we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So 15 seconds. Then we'll drop down into low plank. Straight into 30 seconds of pop-up froggers or pop-up squats. 3, 2, 1. Drop it down. 15 seconds here. 5 to go. 3, 2, 1. Straight in. Jump it up. We've got bear crawl press ups next. We're switching at halfway. We'll keep these going for now. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Into that bear crawl position then. We're going 3, 2, and 1. So stretch it back, round, into your press up. We'll change it halfway to shoulder taps. So 3, 2, 1. Back nice and flat. Tap those shoulders. Remember that water on your lower back. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Straight in. Stand up. Out, in. Stand up. Good work, guys. 10 seconds to go. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Lunges. 3, 2, 1. So coming forward into a reverse lunge. Remember, we'll switch at halfway. So 3, 2, 1. Switch the leg. Once you're done 30, straight back into pop-up squats. 3, 2, 1, straight in. Got 2 rounds left after this. Ten seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Leg raises. In 3, 2, 1. Remember, we're going to switch up halfway. Right, that's halfway now. Switch into those windscreen wipers. Five seconds. And we're straight in. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Halfway through these, 15 more seconds. Keep pushing, guys. We've only got 1 more round after this. 5, 3, 2, 1. Onto your back, sit up to the bridge. In 3, 2, and 1. This is the top. Take that arm over. Switch sides. Once we've done 30 seconds here, when we get to the pop-up squats, next time we're going to make it more like burpees. So we're going to add an explosive jump at the top of the movement. So 3, 2, 1. Out, in, explode. Okay, nice and quick now. Last 30 seconds. As many of these as you can. Empty the tank now. 15 seconds left. 10. 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Really good finish, guys. Good session today. Grab a drink. We'll stretch it out. Cool, right. When we super then down on one knee. Just come into a nice hip flexor stretch. Really catch your breath here. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. For 10 more seconds here. If you've got your right knee down on the floor, we take that right arm up and over now. And really keep that chest nice and big. Perfect. Switch it over. So 30 seconds, just holding that hip flexor stretch. Remember what I always say, tuck your pelvis up to really lengthen through the front of your hip here. And then if you want to push forward a little bit, you can. 10 more seconds, and then we take that arm up and over. Go, add that arm in then. Left arm up and over, just stretching out through your side. 3, 2, 1. Round onto your bum. Legs out nice and straight in front of you. Reaching forward, touching your head in. Tucking it in, sorry, not touching it in. But if you can touch it, touch your head on your knees. That's really good stuff. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Bring those feet up. Up nice and tall. Try and push your knees down if you can, but without rounding too much. You still want to try and keep a nice flat back and drive your knees down to the floor. If you're doing this with someone else, you can just get them to gently push down, which is really opening up through the inner thighs. They've got to hit a little bit today on those squats, as well as those pop-up squats at the end. Awesome. Feet back out in front, lying down on your back. Take your right knee up to 90 degrees. Arms up to the side, I want you to take the right knee over to the left. Use your left hand to pull that knee down to the floor and just turn and look over your right shoulder. You might get a few little clicks in your back. Trying to not let your right shoulder come off the floor too much here. Awesome. Switch it over then. So drop that one down. Left knee up, over to the right. And then turn and look over your left shoulder. Lovely stuff. Round onto your front, onto your knees. Walk your hands out in front of you. Take your chin down to the floor and really try and walk your fingers away from your hips. And then from there, we'll just come round, down, into a cobra. And then untuck those toes, up into a downward dog. And then just slowly start walking those feet up towards your hands. And then bring those hands up and reach over. And then we're all done. So really good stuff today. We'll be back to normal next week, on Tuesday. So on Tuesday then we'll go back to our more kind of like stretching, activation stuff, and then on Thursday we'll have more of a HIIT session again. But thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll have an